was a terrific basketball game. It really was. I'm sure Greg feels the same way. I'd like to get a win, but it's really just exactly what happened in Madison. Two good teams that try and play the right way. They both guard each other. I think you see two of the better defenses in the country. And I think the score there was 27-25 at half, and this time it was 27-all. It got to be 6 minutes or so in the game, and they got away from us. 6 minutes to go in this game, 4 minutes, we got away from them. And it's just two really good teams. Ethan said to me at the end of the game, I hope to see you again in the season. No, Ethan, I don't want to see you again for the rest of my life. This guy is absolutely incredible, and the minute that we weren't supposed to double all night, one of our guys left his guy and doubled to hit a big three against us. Davidson hit big threes. You know, it's just really hard to defend what they do right now. And so we were good enough in it. In the second half, his foul trouble helped, obviously. But what a great program Wisconsin has. What to lose to, even if we lost today, we would have lost to a team that their style of play, if Davidson and Trice are going to shoot like that, right, they can beat anybody, like I said before. And so we're really happy to get that win, especially in front of that crowd. And all our friends and family who are here, all the team, we had a lot of friends and family here, so it's a great win for us. So on to Penn State Tuesday, but we're going to enjoy this one today. We're going to seize the Carpe Diem, seize the day here and enjoy this day.
I'm going to use the mic. Jordan's over there, but Ethan, if you want to start us off.
John, 16 points for Charles in the second half. Just what can you say about his performance, especially down the
This
stretch?
is who I believe, what I envisioned for him when he came here. And there's been times in the games that he's not sure what he should do. Should he shoot it? Should he take it to the basket? You know, should he pass it? And today, I think, with the exception of the first half, in the second half, he had a great mix of making those decisions. But it's hard. We put him in a ball screen a lot today, and he did a great job.
Was that something you emphasized to him at halftime, or just?
No. We went to him early. We were having trouble with some of our middle action, so we went to some more sideline action and stretched the floor a little bit that way. And then it was up to him to make the right play.
Chris?
You guys had a lot of open looks that seemed like it might have pushed it open.
And they didn't have open looks,
right.
And they made them.
Right.
And I like that feeling in my body when that was going. But when Axis looked like it was going in, JP had a couple good ones, Iggy had a couple good ones, John had one go in and out. And I said, and they're going down. Davidson's laying on his back shooting a man. Trice is really deep, so it didn't bode well for the shots going in. So we don't shoot it well, and we win. And the difference was we turned it over 16 times there. We didn't do that today.
And just talk about how they didn't let that affect there on the defensive end.
Yeah, that was big for us. As we said, Desmond Howard was in the locker room, so it was like I always want to make analogies and football. It's like the quarterback going back and playing safety after he throws a pick six. You miss a shot, and now you got to go back and play defense. You can't be as focused, and our guys have to have that. It didn't go well. I thought the key moments of the game started the second half. We could not get a bucket, but they couldn't get a bucket. And now all of a sudden it's still tied. Now we get up by 3, and we just edged enough ahead of them.
Your back right was Zach.
What did John Teskey do later on after half initially? Started out hot.
Yeah, I think that the whole thing with guarding half was, one of the big emphasis was he got an early foul at Iowa just reaching. Right, and he had early fouls against Hap before, and so the whole idea is guard him without bad fouls. Well, I think he'd guard him without as physical as he could guard him. In the second half, and in limited minutes, Ethan played much more physical with him and made him, counter, 2 or 3 times, not just usually be the second guy off the floor with Ethan, and he'll throw 3 fakes at you, and you got to stay down on all those things. And he's going to get his 2s. We just didn't want to give up the 3s. Really, the only really bad 3 we gave up is we doubled off of Reavers, and that was not part of the scout report. Other than that, Davidson hit some, Trice hit some off the dribble. So, but Johnny was really good in the second half. Not that, but also finishing at the rim because he had a couple big misses in the first half too.
Stay there on your right with Andrew.
That second half, were you dialing up Charles and even maybe John a little bit more than usual?
Yeah, it was. You know, we look at his analytics with the ball screen, and there's some areas that are excellent, and there's some areas aren't as excellent. And so we're trying to put him in a situation where he can do it, but we worked every day on him seeing it better, shooting it better, reading it better. And so today it sort of all came together for him.
And then what you mentioned, shaking Pat's hand. I mean, I'm sure there were seniors at Purdue.
This is his fifth year here now. I mean, and then I'm not embarrassed to say that Wisconsin has had the best of a lot of teams in the Big Ten, not just Michigan. And he has been a big part of their success against us in these last 4 years. So, no, I don't want to play them ever again. I don't want to play him ever again. I don't want to play Wisconsin. But as far as they're in the league, we're going to play them. They're just so well coached, and between Bo and now Greg, I mean, just two masterful coaches that understand what winning basketball looks like. And if we can ever emulate that, then we're a really good team.
Down to Thomas Bryant.
Charles is a lot more ball dominant towards the end of the game. Is that something you want to see going forward from him?
Yeah, but I mean, some of that stuff I have to dial up, but some of the stuff, it is stuff that he needs to engage in certain things. And we saw where we saw any weaknesses. You know, we're always looking up for the matchup. Today we loved the matchup, so we went at it. And the way they were guarding us, he can do some things, but we want him to explode to the rim, right? He goes hang time a lot. Hang on the air, let everybody catch up with you. And today he went hard to the rim, and that's what he needs to do.
On your right with Noah.
The crowd was howling after it seemed like every call early on in the game, and it looked like you and the players did not get caught up in any of that at the time. How important, especially for a guy like Teskey, is it to just kind of play through those whistles early on, especially early?
We were, this was a bit of a revenge game, because they did beat us here. It was our first loss. People storming the court, we don't like that. Even though it's the right thing to do, it's just when you lose a game and somebody storms the court on you, it's not like, wow, they're storming the court on us. No, it's like, no, we don't like that situation. So, but our kids were pretty fired up about playing because they haven't lost much. So it hits them really hard. But I thought our focus and just staying in an even keel throughout the whole game. I don't think we took many bad shots, one or two, the whole game. And that playing them with limited possession game, you take 6 or 7 or 8 and you turn it over 16 times. We had no chance of winning that game at Wisconsin the way we played.
On your left with Wojo.
John, we've asked you a lot about Teskey's growth and how different he is from a year ago. A game like today, is he now exponentially growing even faster when he does what he did with that?
Just you look at his series of games here, and he couldn't make a shot the other day against Rutgers, right? Couldn't make a shot. That's why it was so important that he banged that first 3 today, and then finished around the rim. And we've gone to a different workout program with him of just repping more some balance stuff. Rep and balance, because when he misses, and he missed 2 today, where he's off balance, he's trying to do it too quick. So it's an important step for him to go play against that guy, that all-American, right? And look at the sheet, and they said, hey, 2 pretty good centers playing against each other.
On your right with Steve.
Yesterday you talked about how the last time you played with Wisconsin, you felt that the team needed to play better and play smarter than that.
Yeah.
You also said that you went into the halftime in Wisconsin feeling like you were concerned. The score was roughly the same at halftime. So what did you, how was the sensibility when you went into the halftime, and what specifically did you tell your team to do?
Well, it was the same. I told it was the same game. I didn't like that I didn't call a timeout, or they didn't call a timeout with 3.7. We could run something. And I'm telling myself, call timeout, and all of a sudden we inbounded it because I have to physically see the guy, and I didn't do it. So that was my first thought. We got to call timeout with 3.7. But secondly, it was no different. I mean, there's no these 2 teams that are playing really good, and here's what we have to do. But we had some schematic things we wanted to change in the second half, and we didn't. But I'm not telling you.
And was there any sort of revenge tour motivation?
Yeah, there always is. As I just said, we only lost 2 games, right? And most of those guys had a pretty good run last year too. Losing hits you hard when it doesn't happen very often, and when it's happened to you a lot, it still hits you hard. but you grow from it. But it's a little bit of a shock to your system. I know it was to mine.
Back in front with Chris.
You drew up some plays for Iggy early that got him some good looks.
Yep.
Just that's 2 games against Wisconsin. Just one of those things.
You know, he's got some length on him, right? And he didn't make some shots, and that's where he's going. He's a freshman.
Anything else, Teo?
Yeah, Charles, I think, had 5 points in the game in Madison. What was, what allowed him to bounce back from that? He said he wasn't thinking about it.
Just, with most players, it's very contagious. You make a shot, they just make a shot, and all of a sudden you say, man, I got it going. You make 2, I got it going. But you miss 2 or 3 in a row, it's really hard to make 4, 5, the 4th, 5th, or 6th. So there's no magic in that either. He made shots. And then all of a sudden he made more shots because he relaxed. He's not pressing. And that's what's really important when you're playing. If you're going to be a good player, you cannot be afraid to miss, or you can't press if you miss 2 or 3 in a row.
On your right with James.
How much of a different player is Charles when he's hitting that turnaround follow-up?
Yeah, I mean, his defense is one thing I really appreciate from Charles, whether he's having a good game on offense or not, he'll play defense because he's just so driven to be a good defender. But right now, that for us to have a successful end of the season, we need to be able to count on everybody to have no 1 for 7s and 1 for 9s and things like that for everybody as we continue to play teams like this. Right? Maybe one team has, but can't have 3 or 4 guys just off, or 3 or 4 guys missing foul shots, going 1 for 3 from the foul line. We've been doing much better at that lately.
You talk about his improved decision making, I guess, as of late.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have the assists he had last year, but a lot of that had to do with Mo, right? That we played through him, and Mo was a pick and pop, easy assist, right? And our shooting percentages last year were 37, now they're 31, 32. So you see a guy open, you don't get the assist. But he still needs to just, let the game come to him, see the floor, and make the right play.
We have time for a couple more. Wojo?
And just one more on Teskey. Did he take it on like almost personally going against Happen? If there was one thing he had to do really well.
Did you talk to John when he was here?
Yeah.
Did you get anything out of him?
Not much.
No. So now you got to get it out of me.
Right. but I mean, he doesn't like to say that, but it certainly looked like it.
Yeah, I think that I see him right now growing in his personality on the court. That he's going to take things more personal. Where it hasn't been like this. He's a gentle giant in high school, then he's backing up Mo Wagner for 2 years, and it's like I don't have to do a whole lot. Now, when you're saying he's yours and he's yours for 32 minutes, right? You either got to step up and get it done, or you're not going to feel very good. So I understand. I think he knows how important he is to the team, and that's where he was important to the team. Not like now. He's really important. We've been stressing that to him, and maybe I overstressed how he couldn't be assistant coach this game in foul trouble. And that's where Hap was just scoring layups early.
Coach, I think that's going to do it.
All right. Thanks, everyone.